tonight we're going to be talking about landing pages. It's not WordPress specific, but we'll try and get WordPress in there a little bit. Okay, so I want to start off not talking about landing pages, but talking about sales and marketing. And I see people probably go, ugh, but they are kind of linked. So I've got a couple of examples here. One is IKEA, and one is a general appliance store, something like the Good Guys. Okay, and this is to get your mind thinking about the mindset of what is a landing page. Okay, so IKEA, the IKEA sales model is they want you to wind through the store. Okay, they want you to visit every place. They want you to stop and have a look. They want you to visualize, imagine you lying down on the king-size bed in this, fantastic bedroom. They want you to stop at the rugs and have a look at the different colors and the patterns. So they're not bothered about direct, most efficient route to the checkout. So IKEA is all about multitude of different discoveries, the journey, all that sort of thing. Okay? If you're thinking about an appliance store, let's, for example, say we want to buy a TV. Okay? We go to the Good Guys, we have a look around, there's a TV section. So we go to the TV section, okay, and there are TVs. TVs. There's no blender, there's no Thermomix so that you can fantasize about making your dinner tonight. It's just TVs. So what you do is you select your TV, you go to the cash register, and you go out. So it's a focused buyer set, and that's what you can think of a landing page as like. So we focus on a singular goal, and it's called something called conversion-centered design. Bit of a mouthful, but it's basically just one action, one goal, and that's what landing pages do. So the word conversion, sometimes people don't understand or get a little bit confused about what do you mean by a conversion in context of a landing page. Well, it's basically convincing a visitor, somebody visiting your website, to do one thing only, okay? So we're not going to let them to do many things on a landing page, so it's not a step guide, it's not step 300 or 400. It's not navigating from one area to another, okay, so it's not informational. It's completing one business-driven objective on that landing page. So that's what a landing page is for, and that's what a conversion means. It's getting them to do one thing from that landing page. Is everyone okay with that? This is a great quote from the late Steve Jobs. He said this, don't try to do everything, just do one thing and do that one thing really, really well. And that's in the essence of what a landing page should be. So we're thinking about landing pages. You can go and design the best landing page in the universe, but it's useless if you don't have an effective marketing campaign behind that. You need to be able to drive customers to that landing page. So let's have a little bit of a look round about marketing campaigns. So if you're thinking about a marketing campaign, you've got to have a source. You've got to have people that you can drive to your landing page. And sources can be anything, and I've listed a few here. Some of the more common ones, an email list. So you might have a subscription form on your website that people sign up to, so you can use that as a marketing list. You can be an AdWord person, a Facebook ads, to do ads for your services or your products. You drive people to landing page that way. And a lot of people use social networks to drive traffic as well. If they've got a large Twitter following, you can announce something on Twitter and drive people towards a particular area in their website. So list is huge, but in this context, a marketing campaign, it has to have a source. It has to have people that you can get traffic from to send to somewhere. Okay. So why a landing page, and why not just send people to the home page or one of your internal pages that you probably spent quite a bit of time developing and getting nice? Well, the whole idea of a landing page is to have a laser focus on one goal. So this one conversion, and that's what you want to do. The landing page as well can be tailored specifically to try and entice people, to try and move them along to that one goal. So it's different from your more normal website page in that you've got a purpose, you're trying to get people to do something. And you can employ different techniques to do that. You can employ some psychological techniques to try and usher people into pressing that button. And you can choose design techniques as well that allows them to just focus on that one particular objective, that one purpose. What we don't want is any distractions to get in the way. And that's the difference between the landing page and home page or internal pages. So let's talk about the official thing. Official phrase is called attention ratio. And that's where people are looking at a page and it's different variations of things that they can do on that page. So for example, a home page, all these orange areas are bits that a user can click on. And they might be a scrolling banner. They've got your menu at the top. You've got your footer section at the bottom with all your links and privacy and stuff. Different components of your website. You might have a blog or products or things. So lots of places that people can click on to get to where they want to go. The middle is an internal page. So it's still got your header and your footer. Most people, when they have a website, when you go to internal page, you've still got your header and your logo and your footer, links, all that sort of stuff. And maybe you drop the banner, but you've still got some bits on the internal page that you want to throw people to different areas in your website. The last one is a landing page, and you'll notice it's just got one orange blob. That's the one place that people can click on. Okay, so that's the difference between the laser focus of the landing page and home page and internal pages. Okay, so we talk to them about attention ratios, and what we mean by that is, just say this one has 100 of those orange links. We call that an attention ratio of 100 to 1. So the visitor has 100 different options to get to that one place that you want them to go to. Similarly, internal page might have 50 links. Again, you've got 50 different variations of where people can click and go to. But the landing page is an attention ratio of 1 to 1. And that's what you want to really focus on. That's what you want. You just want, when a user gets to a landing page, you only want to do one specific thing. Okay? There we go. So bigger pictures. So just say that was the area that we're trying to focus as an ad campaign to be able to click on. You can now see with 100 different things, it's going to be difficult to try and convert a person to land on there because they could be going clicking on different things. And similarly, again, with the landing page, this has got one laser focus. There's only one place that they can click. Okay. There is an exception for this one link rule when you're talking about designing landing pages. And that's if the other links on the landing page also do the same thing that you're trying to do. So if it's got the same objective. You've probably all seen sales pages where you scroll and they keep on scrolling. They're like 1,000 meters long. But you'll see that all the different links that they have all link to the same goal. Okay? So that's the exception for the 1-to-1 ratio. These are useful for A/B testing if you've got multiple links as well. Yes, you need them to go to the same place, but if you're using A/B testing, and we'll talk about that in a little time, then you can swap out different areas and test which ones are better. But as long as they all point to the same goal. If you've got any questions, just shout out. Okay, so let's have a look at landing page anatomy. What needs to go on landing pages? So I've got 5 must-have core elements that I've put on a landing page. I'll put these slides up on our Facebook page, so you don't have to write them all down. So for the landing page, 5 things: a unique selling proposition. So you need to be able to sell something to people. You need to have a hero shot, some sort of graphical message that conveys what you're trying to get them to do. Some benefits, why are they doing that? Some social proof and trust indicators. And again, the one single goal, the one conversion that you want them to do on that website. So let's have a look at these ones. So unique selling proposition, or USP, you want to have a big main headline. So when you're doing your ad campaign, so it could be an email list, an email that goes out, or it could be a Facebook ad. What you want to make sure is when they come off that ad, when they hit that landing page, the first thing they see links with that advertising campaign. Okay, so it needs to gel between the two. That's why you need a big main headline to make sure they know that they've clicked from that ad and they're in the right place. So big headline to make sure that they know exactly where they are. You can put a supporting headline underneath that just to confirm exactly, because obviously big headlines limited space. So you can have like a sub-headline that gets a little bit more detail just to confirm again that they're in the right place. You can have reinforcement statements as well. Why are they here? Explain all the things. Why are they going to buy this? Why do they need that? Why, do they need to get that thing right now? And a closing argument. Closing arguments are you're trying to redress the issues that people would have against them trying to buy. So before they click on the button, like, oh, I'm not quite sure, that's your closing argument. You want to redress all that stuff. The hero shot. So In studies, in general, people appeal more to visual than they do to textual on the whole. If you show an image to somebody or a block of text, then their reaction to that is greater if you show them visual than it is to text. You want to use good, high quality shots, images. Don't muck around, don't have really small ones. Have a think about where your landing page is on. If it's on an iPhone Retina, make sure you've got high quality ones. And you want to show the product or service that you're offering on that landing page in context. So if you're selling vacuum cleaners, have a picture of some guy smiling doing the vacuuming. You know, it's great. It's the joy of your life. So try and show your service in context. If you've not got a product, you can show your service. You can show screenshots of your service and what it provides for that. As well as images, if you want to go one step higher, video. Video converts more than just pictures alone. If you can have a video showing somebody using your product and they're happy and smiley, that's a winner. You can also show a video of them solving problems. So you've all seen the people down on their hands and knees scrubbing floors in black and white, and then suddenly it goes all colour, and they've got the nice new steam mop, and it's lovely, and the world's a lovely place again. So videos are more powerful than images, but they do cost a little bit more to produce. For the hero shot, have something that appeals to them that they can see visually. You need to show the benefits of what you're offering. Nobody's going to buy something just because you want them to buy. There's going to have to be a benefit, a need. Why do they need that service? Why do they need that product? You need to outline and summarize all the benefits that they're going to get when they buy this thing from that landing page. And you want to go into a little bit of detail about the features and benefits. Not too much. You don't want to bore them silly. You still want to make them, press that button. But you need to expand on what the benefits are and what the features are for that thing that you're trying to sell. So in doing that, you want to make sure that you have really good copy. And let me tell you, the amount of landing pages or sales pages that I've been on, and you have grammatical or spelling mistakes, it just puts you right off. If somebody can't be bothered spell checking or spending 10 minutes just proofreading, then for me it's not a quality service, it's not a quality item. I lose that trust. So make sure you have good copy, make it precise and very compact. Don't waffle, just straight to the point. Impeccable grammar and no spelling mistakes. Address needs. Okay, so why do you need this thing? Why are they hungry for this thing? It must be the best thing ever. It must do these things that must compel them to buy it right now. So address the needs. If they've got problems, so if you're selling a service, outline all the problems that they have. And this service addresses those problems. That's why you should buy it. And again, what I mentioned before, redress issues. So hurdles for conversion. When people are unsure about clicking something, that usually means they don't know a particular thing. So that's something you can build up over time. But if you've got a whole list of issues that you can think about, well, why would somebody not press that button? Do they not like a money back guarantee, or are they unsure about the price? Are they unsure if it's going to work with my XYZs? So you try and redress all the issues that somebody might have before they don't click on that button. I think it's number 4. So social proof and trust indicators. These are very, very powerful. This is the Harry Met Sally thing. So I want to have what she's having. That famous scene in Harry Met Sally. And it's so powerful. People are pack animals, and they like to do the same things as other people do. They like to enjoy the other things that other people have. And if they know that somebody else has got something, then they kind of want it. So you want to try and sell to that particular issue. And social is very powerful on that. Things like testimonials, having a testimonial scroller along confirms that other people have bought this and they're happy, so it goes to that trust. Things like guarantee seals, 30 back money, they guarantee. If you don't get 5 clients using my course, in the first 28 days, then I'll refund you the entire money back. You use things like that, policies and guarantees. If you've got any third-party security certifications, you might have your SSL certificate, put that on. You might have your site scanned by Norton, put that stuff. You might be one of the consumer regulators if you're offering a particular service. Put as many site seals and trust things as you can on that page, again, just to build confidence. Facebook reviews and comments. If you've got a group that's associated with your products or your service, screenshot some comments for some real people and post it in there. Again, we want to try and get that whole kind of social and real person engagement in there. And there's a great little tool called Proof. It's called useproof.com. And I've used this in quite a few client websites and landing pages. You might have seen it yourself if you're on a landing page and you're reading through it and suddenly you get this little notification that comes up at the bottom. It says Bob from Sydney has just bought this item, or in the last 20 days, 300 people have bought this similar item, that sort of thing. That has a really high conversion rate for your landing pages, with or without. I've tested these things. You can get like a 20% increase in conversion just by putting one of these in. Because again, it confirms people's trust and that, oh, other people are doing it, so I want to do it too.
Can I ask you what you mean by conversion?
The conversion is the single thing that you want on the landing page to do. Okay, so if you're selling a service, then you want somebody to either purchase that service or subscribe to that service. So everything on that landing page is pointing to that one conversion. It's one thing that you want those people to do.
Usually either capturing details to add to a mailing list or getting advice if you're doing e-commerce.
That's right. Well, this is it. It's a single call to action. That's exactly what you're asking. So in the entire page, all the stuff you have on it, you want to funnel them down to this one call to action, this one thing that you want them to do. And this is what the landing page is for. It's ushering all these people, it's giving them all the trust, it's redressing all their issues, down to a single point where they have a compelling need to buy or do that thing. So the one single call to action. And here I've got an example of a landing page layout. So you've got your header at the top, you've got your big title with a subtitle, you've got your hero shot or video that's playing along, you've got some benefits, why would they want to do it, you've got a little testimonial that says, Joe purchased this thing, that was great, and then you've got your call to action at the side here. Press that button, name, email, phone, press that button, subscribe to a list, or buy this service. Okay, so I had a look at what things to put on a page, but there's also psychology to landing pages. There's things that you can do, there's way that you can describe content that kind of compels people to do a particular thing, or can put people in a particular mood. So there's 3 parts to this psychology that I researched. So the first one is the psychology of pleasure. So that is making people happy when you go on the landing page. You can do that by changing words in your copy to you. People are very selfish and they like to think about themselves and what they like and the benefits they're going to get. So tell them that. Use a lot of you words. You will get this, you will experience that, you will be happy when you do this. A lot of you words, put it on them. Refer to the well-being. You'll be happy when you do this. It's a joyful product. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money that you can go and spend on a holiday. Try and entice them to a well-being. It's going to make them happy. It's going to make them better. It's going to make their life great. If you're using photos or video, make sure that people are smiling and happy, laughing, all that sort of stuff. Don't have a kind of grim person. I used to live out in Auburn, and I used to go to one of the malls out there, and walking along there's a big picture, there's a furniture store. I can't remember what you call the guy, but there's this great guy in like white coat and he's like that, right next to the sign for the showroom. And it's like, the expression, it's like, buy my stuff or else. That's just not good marketing from my point of view. You want happy, smiley people if you want to try and make the people feel good when they're on the page. I'm not joking, use cute animals in bright color. Studies have shown that if you use an animal on a page, people go, oh, it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a woman or whatever. Animals make people happy. That's why they put dogs and cats and stuff into hospitals when people are feeling unwell. So think about that in context, of course. Don't put bunnies hopping all over your landing page. That's probably not going to work. Use upbeat, positive copy. Okay, use positive words, not negative words. Don't use but, use and. Things like that. So have a think about your copy. And have a satisfactory conclusion. So when you've got a landing page, your landing page is telling a story. So all these different issues, all the different features, redressing, the benefits, you're telling people a story about why they should press that button, why they should do that thing. But studies have shown, and I'll put links to the references, studies have shown that a large amount of people, to make them happy, they need to have a satisfactory conclusion. So have you ever watched a video or film where after 90 minutes, it ends and you're like, what? You know, so you need to make a good conclusion to your story. Make sure that the story you're telling is, and this is why, the end. Okay? And it makes people happy that they now come to a conclusion. Exactly. It works every time. Cute animals. Okay, another one is the psychology of pain. Okay? Okay. So when somebody wants to avoid something, let's get a little bit controversial. I don't want to go too far down this, but it does work and people use this. So you can use grey photos and kind of winter cold colours if you want to embellish a sense of pain, avoidance, anxiety, confusion that around a problem that you know exists, that your landing page and your service or product is going to then resolve. Okay? So it's another way of coming across it. Rather than make it all happy and bunnies and unicorns and rainbows, you want to show dull, miserable, you know, life is really a pain because of this issue, and I've got this great thing to help you doing that. So grey photos, dull winter colours can imbue that kind of mood of down, sorrow. Images of unhappy people as well, maybe not too much, but certainly confused. Confused works really well. So on landing pages, you know, because if somebody's got a problem, they're usually confused because they don't understand how to redress that. So then they can link themselves to those images of people being confused on your landing page. This one, I don't want you to take it out of context. So invoke feelings of sadness, shame, and anxiety. I don't want you making people jumping off cliffs, but you know, you want to try and use a mood that's set in that particular pain issue for the problem that you're trying to send a solution to. Okay, so for example, if it's weight loss, if you're selling a weight loss product, then you might want to make your copy feel more kind of anxious, self-motivation is down, that sort of thing, that you want to then try and bring them up and sell that in a positive light. Okay, so try and invoke particular feelings, like negative feelings that are linking to the service or product that you're trying to sell.
The fear of missing out.
Yeah, that's one of them. Missing out, you know, somebody's got something and I don't have it, you know. So pinpoint where they hurt in that particular issue that you're trying to solve on your landing page, and then offer the solution. So the hurt is the whole down, negative, grey, winter tones, and then solution is the happy place that you provide them with. Okay. So here's an example of one. This is Charlottesville Medical Research, a landing page that they did a few years ago. You can see here's an image of somebody. They're all covered up, they're hiding, so you get that kind of hidden sense. The colours are very muted, so they're not bright and cheery, they're kind of dull, but not black and white, but they're dull. So it gives you that sense of, you know, wrapping up, hidden away, you know, and then, you know, they can identify people and then they can sign them up from that. So it just gives you a sense of some of the things that you can do to kind of, it's not all bright and cheery, it's a particular mood that you're trying to engage with the audience with. The last one is spending, so how much. There's a couple of different camps, or two different camps, so people who either don't want to spend very much, or people who are happy to pay something that they think the offering is value for. So you're going to need to do a little bit of research in this. So if you've got a target audience that you want to target with your landing page, you need to try and identify who they are, what they do. If you've got a service or offering that you want to pinpoint to them, you're going to need to try and do a bit of research on how much they're willing to pay for that particular research. And that might be testing. You might have a price point here. You don't get anyone selling it. You might lower your price point. You get loads of people. Okay, so that might do a little bit of research. It could also be looking at competitors and see what price point they have. But you want to get your price point just right. So like the sweet spot that people are happy to pay for that service. They think it is good value. Okay. The other flip of the coin is people who are penny pinchers. Okay. So you want to say, when you appeal to how much they're going to save. Okay. So it was $299, now it's $99. You know, value add. Buy this and get $2,000 worth of bonus stuff. You know, it's enticing people. People wouldn't normally pay that much, but they can see that they're going to get something else of value. So, you know, you're trying to entice those type of people. And the rule of thumb for penny pitchers is that they're motivated not to lose something. So the motivation not to lose something is greater than the desire to get it. So those type of people who are frugal, rather than you try and sell them something as to, yeah, it's fantastic, all its features, the motivation not to lose it, not to take it away, is greater for them. So if you can say, oh, you know, things like this is a one-time only deal, it's on this page only, you navigate away, you're going to lose that thing. A countdown, only 2 hours left to purchase this thing, that sort of stuff. And brings that sense of, if I don't get it now, then you're not going to get it forever. One time only, that sort of stuff. I talked about A/B testing a little bit. I could do a whole session on A/B testing, but I just want to touch on it just to make sure that you guys can understand what it is. In essence, what it does is you have a page and you can swap out an element of that page. It might be a feature, it might be a button color, it might be the headline text as well. And you can show 50% of your visitors one thing and 50% of your visitors the other. So that's what A/B testing is. So on site A, you've got the one headline, on site B, you've got the other headline, and it splits your traffic 50-50, and it serves 50 of this and 50 of that. And you get metrics in a dashboard, and essentially you have to have a look and see how many people are converting with one and the other, and then you can change your entire copy that way. So you might want to think about, like, example, like changing button colors, changing placements of elements. You know, you might find that some of your copy down below people are really clicking on and reading. So you might want to move that up to the top, and you can do that with things like heat maps. So you can get heat mapping software to see where people are clicking and scrolling into. Yeah, change colors and font styles. You never know. It might be the font style in something might be too difficult for people to read if it's on a mobile, for example. And people do respond to different colors in different contexts. Red for bad and green for good. You can try different copy. You can try 3 or 4 different different bits of copy in your features and benefits and see if that helps entice people to convert. And also swap out pictures and videos. So if you've got 4 videos that you've produced for something, you want to know which one works better, then do an A/B test over a few weeks and swap them out and see which one's better. This is also good for your business down the line as well, because you get to learn what people are responding to for your different services. So you're not wasting your time and money doing stuff and guessing down the road. So A/B testing is very important when it comes to landing pages. There are a few services out there, really good services, but the one you can kind of use for free is Google Optimize. They've got a free version. It's fairly extensive. It links in with Google Analytics as well. It has a wide range of features. I would recommend, if you want to get started with A/B testing, get started with the free version of Optimize. If you feel maybe after a year that you've explored all the features and you want to do more, there's things called multivariate testing, where you can really chop and change different things for different target audiences. You can go down the paid route for that, and they offer all those types of services as well.
Just a question on the heat mapping tools, like
Yeah.
Hotjar, do you know any others, like Instapage is using it as well?
Yeah, I use Hotjar. So yeah, I've been using Hotjar for 2 or 3 years now. So that's my go-to one. I'm not aware of the others because I haven't really looked into the market. But
For A/B testing, I've read on Lead Pages does A/B testing, or Lead Architect on WordPress.
yeah, there's
The only page builder that actually does A/B testing.
which one?
Lead Architect.
Link Architect. Lead Architect.
Lead Pages, it's the same company.
Oh, Lead Pages, yes. Yeah, I'm aware of those.
Front-end page builder tool. Like
Yeah.
It's all drag and drop. It's really easy.
So they have all the metrics on the Lead Pages site where you develop all your campaigns and things.
To that one
Yeah.
side and to the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't tried it myself, but yeah, I was pretty good with reviews and watching videos.
Yeah, one of my clients, he uses lead pages, but he does all that stuff. He does it all himself. So haven't seen the dashboard except for when I log in and load it up. Lead pages, it's a landing page generator. It's a service. So you pay X monthly, and you go into the website, and it allows you to have different templates for landing pages and pop-ups, and it's got its whole metrics at the back. And this gentleman's saying that they have their own A/B testing suite. So.
Pages and unbalanced and Instapage, all do A/B testing.
Great. So there's lots of options out there, but it's so important when you're doing landing page design. Yeah.
Well, if you do it on website, how do you normally do the A/B testing? Like the easiest way to do it? Like, do you do it on a production website, on how does it work?
How does it work? Okay, without getting into a whole A/B session, essentially what you do is if you go into Google, you take your live website, for example your landing page, and you put your URL into that. Google Optimize then loads in the page, and it automatically identifies components. So you've got your title, it knows where your title is, it knows where your hero image is, it knows where your call to action is. You can click on them, and it allows you to change the colors like CSS. In fact, they've got an editor almost. So you can click on a button, and it will grab the color and the font and the style in, and you can change it in a little text editor. And then you save it back. Yeah. Then you place a little bit of code. It does require a little bit of code, JavaScript code, and you put that in your header of your website. And most themes will allow you to put code, the JavaScript in a header area for the theme customization. And what happens is that little bit of code, when your visitors visit your website, it then goes to Google and says, what bits should I change? And on the fly dynamically changes the content for that. So you're not editing your own content on your website, you're editing on the Google Optimize site. Yeah, does that answer your question? Okay. Yep, and one thing about A/B testing, quite important, is don't go changing lots of elements at the same time. Okay, just change 2 elements. A/B, that's kind of the clues in the title. If you're changing 4 or 5 elements and you suddenly get a lot more conversion and you don't know which element you've changed, make that conversion.
So is Optimize, is that taken over from what used to be content?
Yeah, pretty much. It was in Labs, and now they've taken out of Google Labs and they've made it a product now.
That last point, I think that's where heat mapping is cool. You can see where they're clicking, where they're scrolling to,
Yeah.
with the pointer.
Yeah. Heat mapping is slightly different. So heat mapping, again, it's a little bit of JavaScript that you put into your website. So you're not changing your website at all. And then you log into the company, the service that you go with. So example, if it's Hotjar, you log into your Hotjar dashboard, and it overlays this heat map on your landing page. So the red stuff is the hot stuff. There's a red or blue, anyway, one of them. So if it's white, then that means a lot of people have clicked on that area. So you can see where people are trying to click on, or how many people are clicking on where. And that again could be an indication of which copy is good and which copy is not. You can also see where people are scrolling to and navigating to, where they're moving their mouse to as well. So it just gives you an indication of how people are navigating through your landing page. So I mentioned before, if people are scrolling down to the very last element and they're hovering over that last element for a long time, maybe you want to bring that up to the fold. Yeah. It does and it doesn't. Yes, it does, but negligible, I would think, for the benefit that you want. You're not going to have A/B testing on your landing page forever. You're not going to have heat mapping on your page forever. It's a tool to use to refine. Yeah. Crazy Ink, is that another one? Cool. James.
I believe that now with Cloudflare apps, you can run like A/B testing on the edge, on like Cloudflare edges.
On Cloudflare as well.
Because Cloudflare have an app store.
Okay.
So you can run it on their edges.
Yeah.
But no impact.
Yeah. Does everyone know what Cloudflare is? It's a CDN, a content delivery network. So it takes when you sign up to their service, it takes your website and it caches a copy in lots of servers all over the planet. So if someone in the UK is looking at your Australian-based website, then it'll go to a UK or nearest UK-based server and pull that cache copy out. But because they cache a copy of your website, then they've got lots of apps and tools on their website that you can interact with their website with. So you can put like banners or hero pages, and yeah, James has said one of the tools that they have is A/B testing as well. So if you are using Cloudflare, maybe that's an option for you to go down. Okay, let me just refresh myself. Okay, so if you've got an existing WordPress website, let's bring this all back to WordPress because it's a WordPress meetup. If you've got an existing site and maybe your theme is an older theme that doesn't have all these fancy things, then how can you achieve that? I've had customers who have running really old templates and they don't want to change it because it works for them. But within the template, and they go to a page, it doesn't have like a full width or a landing page type template. So there's things that you can do to try and get as close to a landing page as you can from an existing template. So it's what I call landing page removals. So you've got your WordPress, you think about your WordPress page, it's got your header, it's got a menu, it's got footer stuff, it's probably got a sidebar as well. So that's one of the things you just want to remove. So strip out all those items. You want to remove the header and footer, so the menus. Get rid of those because those have got links. You want to remove all menus as well. Get rid of all your menus because you don't want people going elsewhere. Get rid of all your sidebars as well because that's a distraction. If you can, try and remove the link from your logo. If you can separate the logo from the header. Yeah, sometimes it's quite good to have a logo, but you don't want people clicking on it and going back to your home page. So if you can, try and remove your link from your logo. That might require a little bit of JavaScript rather than CSS. In general, I tell people to remove everything, but don't remove the privacy policy at the bottom, because that gathers trust. People like to look at privacy policy to make sure that what they're signing up for, what they're paying for, the information that they're given is valid, and they're not going to be subscribing to a health app that's going to sell their details to a medical practitioner, all that sort of stuff. That was in the news today. Anyone see that? Yeah. So some app that that was a health app, they found it sold all your data to a medical or law company. So.
Why do you have to remove the link to the logo? What's the benefit?
Again, it's just reducing that attention ratio to 1-to-1. So, because people, when you see a logo on a website, you want to click on it, it goes back to the home page. So it's just reducing that one link. Okay. Implementation, how do you do that stuff if you've not got like a fancy theme builder? You want to use Chrome Inspect. Firefox has an inspection tool. Safari has one as well. Edge probably doesn't. What it allows you to do is it shows you all the code, all the different code behind your website. So you can hover over elements. You can click on elements like your menu bar, and it will take you to the area in the CSS that defines that. And it shows you the CSS of all the attributes to the CSS as to what makes that element up. So, for example, if you're clicking on a particular area of the website, you can see here that it's called a div, and div's a container. It's got a class name called module-wide. And in the spec, you can see it matches CSS rules. So there's a CSS rule called .module.module-wide, and that shows the width and the height, the text align, and the padding. This is your friend CSS statement called display none. So if I was to go in there, find this, and then do module.module-wide display none, that disappears. So it's a quick fix to disappearing something. You can do it in real time in Chrome Inspect, but if you want to make it permanent, you go into your customizer and additional CSS, and you'd enter that statement of the area. So either a class, which is a dot, or an ID, which is a hash, and display none, and it disappears. So you can miraculously make your headers and your footers disappear for that one particular page. Should I try and demo that? Yes, I should. The other one is page builders. Page builders are very popular just now. There's a couple that are really good. One is Beaver Builder, and the other one is Elementor. They have free versions that you can start with, and they have paid versions that give you extra elements and service and updates as well. But you can go with the free version just to play around with the page builders. What they allow you to do is they override your templates. You can drag all the different components. So you can drag a testimonials, or drag an image block, or a video block. It's just an easy way to build up a landing page, rather than have to rely on the WordPress theme, or get a developer to spend money on making an actual landing page for you. That should work quite nicely. If it doesn't, then yeah, your backup is going into CSS and doing those things and tweaking areas to remove things and move things around. Let me just do a little bit of a demo. This probably won't work, but we'll have a go anyway. Okay, is it going to show? Come on. Let me just change. Display settings, and I'll see if I can mirror these displays. Sometimes that works. Okay.
You should have a
duplicate.
You don't have it. You have the shortcut here.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, so everyone see this? Here's a theme that I've downloaded. It was just one of the popular ones. So we've got the title that you can put our logo in. We've got the menu off at your right-hand side. A little header image here. So all those things you don't want because they're distracting for landing pages. You want to get rid of them. So here's how we can use the inspect element. Just so you want to get rid of this whole hero image bit. So right-hand click, inspect element. And it brings up the little inspect element here with all the gobbledygook HTML in. Okay, now when you hover over it, you can see all the different areas that it relates to. Okay. So if I go up here, that's the wrapper, that's the entire site, we don't want that. The header, see the header's highlighted? So that's how you can find out what the IDs and things that you want to target with CSS to get rid of things. So if I want to get rid of that hero image bit, inspect element, I want to try and find where it's in. Entry header, page wrapper. I'm completely winging this, by the way, so don't judge me. Okay, so it looks like it's that one. So we've got a class of wrapper, page inner title, and we can see on the far your right-hand side that we've got a body.inner banner here. So let's just put some CSS in here. Display, none. Ta-da, and that goes. So that's a live preview. So you can show you what it's got rid of that thing because I put that bit of CSS code. But what you can now do is you can go into the customizer, additional CSS, put your body.inner banner and display CSS, press save, and it'll get rid of it. Okay, so it's a very kind of quick way of getting rid of elements. You can do the same for your menu. So you can right-hand click on that and inspect element. It jumps down to, there we go, site navigation, primary menu. There you go, and we can do the same. So there's a class called .menu and display none. Oh, if I spelled correctly. And everything with that class of menu disappears. So even if your theme doesn't have any kind of fancy page builders, you can still try and get a page to look like a landing page by doing all this CSS stuff and taking away elements. You don't need to do it for your entire site. The way to target a particular page in WordPress, again, it's the inspect element. You want to have a look at the body class. The body is the one that identifies the page. Here we go, this is the body class here. So for WordPress, all pages have an ID number in the back end when you're creating them. You might have a nice title for it, but they've all got a number. In the body, you have something called a page-id-a number, and that's the page ID in the WordPress backend. So if you have a particular page that you want to remove the hero and the menu, then in your CSS you can do body.page-id-11 for that one page, and then your CSS after it, which means because CSS is hierarchical, it'll only work for that one page, and you don't change any of your website, the other pages in your website. Okay, so it's a quick way of targeting a particular page if you've got an old theme and make it into a nice landing page. I was going to try and show Beaver Builder, but I had some problems.
If you have multiple ones, you need to copy that CSS, the entire display numbers. You need to do that for each page ID.
Yeah.
So you'd end up with like
Yeah.
racks after racks of CSS.
Yeah, you can do that, and this is for people who are not, who don't know how to change themes, don't want to do code, don't want to do PHP or templates. Yeah, you're going to end up with a lot of CSS, but at least you can get the job done. So it's a quick fix for people to do that. The other method would be to add a CSS or ID to a particular page or pages that then you can target as a one-off. So if you can find a plugin that allows you to add a class or a class name to a page, just hits a little meta box on the side, then you could maybe give it a class name of landing page. And then your CSS, you could do body.landing page, and then it would do that for everything that you assign a landing page to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, otherwise, I find it easier even if people maybe don't understand everything about CSS, but usually when you want a one page without a sidebar, it's called single.php, whatever, in your theme. So that is kind of even easier than going to look for the CSS. You duplicate that, you call it whatever you wanted, .single.php, and then you will have it in the drop-down menu in the templates in the WordPress editor in the backend. And then in there, once you duplicate it, if you have access to your files, the template files, then you can remove an entire line that says header, that says footer, that says sidebar, that says. So it's actually quite easy because the description is there. You don't have to know code.
It's easier for people who understand templates.
Yeah,
if you don't understand how to create templates, then so small steps.
It's not that easy.
No question.
Yeah, I was just going to mention like child templates as well. Is you starting the child template in case your stuff up?
Okay. Yes. No. Okay. The reason I say that is if you're going to be mucking around with templates, then create a child template of your main theme and apply templates to that. So when you again update to your main theme, it doesn't wipe out all the changes. So yes, for that instance. For this instance, then no. If you're going in via the customizer stores the data with the current theme. Okay, so if you're just using the customizer's additional CSS, you don't have to bother about a child theme because it links it with the theme ID that you've got currently active. And it doesn't matter if the theme updates, it doesn't overwrite the CSS in customizer because it stores that in the table separately. In the database. Yeah, just for customizer. Not for additional CSS files that you add in. They'll all get wiped over if you update your thing. Yeah.
Sorry, I come to another room, get the wrong room.
That's okay.
Now, my question is, build the page. How can separate the page in different area? For example, this one page, here is a picture, here is a text, here is a title. Push title, then I have described in another page.
Okay.
Then here is a question. Then here is the customer communicating. So how can build the page in different area?
How can you build?
Like this, you see? This is bullet line, like this.
So how can you build a landing page? How can you build all the content?
The page you can set up and build up the page in different area very clearly.
Okay.
Can you show?
I wasn't going to, but you've now. No, it's okay, it's okay. So you're going to want to use something like a page builder. Okay?
or WordPress.
WordPress?
Yeah, then have pages.
Yep. So you.
Then push all pages.
Yep.
Then I have different pages. I set up for my website.
Mm-hmm.
Then I push my website. I want to build my website, each page beautiful.
Yep.
Then
So.
Then the origin, only like this.
Yeah.
No,
So
no,
what?
No.
So what
Then
you?
how can you set up my
Yep.
page show people
Yep.
in different area where it could look and clearly for each area.
So what you're going to need to do is use something called a page builder. Okay, and a page builder allows you to define different layouts. So if you want a single page, or if you want 2 columns with a title and a video, or a title and a picture. They also have things like FAQs, so that you can drag an item across and allow you to put questions and answers and build them up that way. So you want to use a page builder like Elementor or Beaver Builder.
Yeah, Elementor.
Yep, Elementor or Beaver Builder.
Either way.
Either one.
You can show me. I want to show me.
I'll try and see if we can get a demo.
Yeah, waiting for.
Last question.
I have a question about the CSS stuff and the page ID or what.
Yep.
Isn't it better to like put your landing page on a subdomain or like a different URL anyways? Because like in terms of SEO, if you have your landing page and the same thing as the website, isn't it gonna like mess up stuff? Like when you search for a query or something?
Okay. Yep. So we're talking about landing pages and domains or subdomains.
Yeah, and like the connection with the real website. Like.
Yeah. I would always put a landing page on the same page that you are signing people up on, or the same page that people are purchasing from. Same domain name. Okay. Yeah. So if you've got if you're selling blue widgets to somebody, the best blue widgets ever, you've got bluewidgets.com. That's where you want to put your landing page. Okay. You don't want to put it on sales.bluewidget.com or buy.bluewidget.com, and then. It could be, but majority of the time a landing page is separate from your website, and it's just a predefined page on your website that stands alone. So you've still got your website there, and people can still come to your home page and have a look and navigate to your links, but your landing page is a page inside your website, but you just target it from the marketing campaign, and so people go there. Yeah. Yeah.
So it would say wpdemo2.local/landing
landing page. Yeah. So you're not bothered with people who are visiting your site finding your landing page. That's okay, but that's not the purpose of the landing page. The purpose is you want to push people to that landing page from your email list directly, or the ad that they click on directly. Yeah. So it can be in your website or not in your website, but if you're trying to sell things, it's always good to be on the same domain. Because if you start changing the URL at the top, people can get a little bit hesitant, why am I going to somewhere else? And some people get that fact. People are okay now with things like PayPal. So you click on PayPal and it goes to the PayPal login screen, you type in. But if you're trying to buy something from a company, you've went through a landing page, you're like, this is great, and then you click on a button, it takes you to Bob's payment system, you're like, maybe not. So try and keep it on the same domain that's relevant to your site.
Oh no, I was just on that, like using the second domain name, but then you're saying like serve the landing page at the root domain. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Before you have like MVP or homepage, right?
Yeah, the same URL. Try not to go changing URLs. Don't send them to red.domain name or blue.domain name or domain name / whatever.
Do it for like marketing campaigns. Like where would you store it? Was it just like landing page, whatever name you want to put?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You just don't really care, like seeing
It doesn't matter. The URL doesn't really matter as long as it's readable by Google, and they can find it, and as long as it's not too complicated, because you're dragging your traffic to that URL from a marketing campaign. So you're not
Basically, you're just creating a new page.
a new page on your website. Yeah, and you don't care if it doesn't link in with any other pages because that's not the whole idea of a landing page. Okay. Yes, you can link to it from your website, but the whole idea is you're driving traffic from an external source to that one page.
Can you also boost the SEO, same domain?
Same domain, yeah, same copy. Yeah.
Backlinks.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, once the landing page has fulfilled its purpose, what happens? Like, how does it elegantly or close, or you manually close the page?
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so you've run a campaign, you've got a product, maybe you don't have that product anymore, maybe you're not selling that service anymore. What you don't want to do is just delete it. What you want to do is redirect it to another page. So something complementary. So you might not be running that service or product, but you might be doing something that's similar, or something that would fit in with that context of people landing there. So don't lose that whole traffic and campaign and bookmarks and stuff. Definitely redirect to something else to try and grab that attention of somebody. So for example, if somebody goes to a landing page through an old link, then you might want to refer them to a separate page that says, hey, sorry, we don't do that anymore, but look at this fantastic thing that we have. So another landing page with just a slightly adjacent message, but definitely try not to delete it.
If you're going to redirect it, you should do 301, redirect back to the home page, or you can have a new page there. It just depends what you want to do.
Yeah, you want to try and capture the traffic though, because somebody's went to a landing page because they've got a need, a want. So rather than redirecting to the home page, you want to try and redirect them to another page that tries to entice them to buy something else. You don't want to lose that traffic juice.
Upselling, downselling, cross-selling.
Yeah, exactly. Question at the back?
Yeah, I was just thinking in the context of what I usually do.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the whole view about creating a landing page. So let's say that we'll create, for a client, we're creating a website where you're trying to drive the client to phone you up for a service. Say, for example, you're a photographer or a removals company. So my approach has always been to SEO or target people to come up to the home page where there's a pop-up, or not necessarily a pop-up that will appear all the time in the morning, but it's just there above the fold.
Yep.
And it's got 3 or 4 simple questions where they enter the information, click here, save now, etc. That's usually my approach, where it's blended in with everything else on the home page. But I understand what you're saying, one simple message for one simple action. But I seem to be lost in that notion where people don't know the business. So in that landing page, can I tell them enough about the business to entice them to the call to action?
Yeah, if it redresses their issue of not having confidence in what they're buying, then certainly. But you don't want to go the whole, we started off in 1999, a garden shed with just me, and and do all that sort of stuff. You want to just have enough information about you as a company and service to make them feel confident in what they're buying, or what you want them to do to sign up, for example. For example, we are the top photography company in Sydney. We do bespoke shoots. We've been #1 in this award for the past 5 years. That sort of thing. Short and sweet, enough confidence to get, okay, well, I trust you now. You guys are good. I know what you kind of do roughly. You've got accreditation. Do that.
I'd say the other thing that comes into that, right, is if, so we were talking about this before, like if you just click access through your automated and you apply urgently, and somebody says they can be there in 10 minutes, you're going to contact them, and I'll probably have a landing page, I'll have a phone number, not fill in the form at that point, right? Because that's something that you need urgently and you know exactly what you want and you search for it, and that's where a landing page is really well. But if you're talking about your photographer, and you're talking about doing a big shoot or whatever, you probably wouldn't ask them to buy, but you'd have enough stuff that said you're brilliant, and then you'd ask them to make an inquiry or get a quote or something, so you catch the lead and then convert afterwards, which is when you tell them about it, because it's a bigger and more expensive something. The point they need to know about it is fine, but at that point your goal is probably not to get them to buy off the page. Your goal is to get them to inquire, so that you've got the details for your proposal.
I sort of understand what you're saying, but I'd like to see an example of what you're
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I've not got any examples today, but I can certainly find some for you. I'll post them up.
It's just that most the clients I'm using or doing stuff for, I'm trying to sell a service where it's not just a $5 widget. They might be investing $5,000 or $2,000, something like that. So So just like a landing page is not going to, in my opinion, with a few brief things saying we're the best and, you know, stop looking, you know, you found the best service. I've got to educate, that's what I believe the homepage does, educate the person or the visitor about what you actually do, rather than just a simple one message.
Okay. Yeah, I've come across that issue before. It's interesting because it takes a while to get into the ethos of marketing and landing pages. What you're maybe talking about is a more bottom-up approach, whereas, you know, you're trying to educate the user into who you are and what you are with enough information to hopefully get them to convert by telling them what you do. Yep.
You can always add in, if you add in so much waffle and you're trying to educate them, you've lost them. Because they don't understand what they're reading.
So go back to your
So, a bit of a catch-22.
It's just a different approach. So
yeah, you've got to really simplify
audience as well, though? I mean, if you were driving traffic from the right place...
It all depends on audience. But going back to your particular one...
Service is different, but...
Yeah.
But go back to your photographer, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody knows about your company or clicks through to your company and they're doing what... It's not either or. So on the homepage you still have your form and they can inquire and get whatever. Yeah. But if they search for business portrait photography and that clicks through to an AdWords click that takes you through to a landing page, then on the landing page you don't try and sell them a photography package. But what you do is you say, we do portrait photography, we've done all this, download our hints and tips on how to make your portrait look as good as possible. And you have some little thing and they give you their name and their email and their phone number in exchange for getting information about how to make a really good professional headshot and what they should be doing.
That sounds like a theory, but some of my clients, the people we're trying to drive, would not download hints and tips to find they want to move from Surrey Hills to North Sydney, and they don't want to download hints and tips about how to move. They just want to get a quote to move.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's it.
There's a different way of approaching this. The way that you're maybe thinking about is what a lot of people do. So they sell what you can do, what services you can offer, what you can do, and that's traditionally targeted through SEO. So when people type in stuff in Google, it comes up with the content. Okay. Yeah. What we're talking about here is a more top-down approach. So rather than offer people what you sell and your services, what you're identifying, you're skipping right to the end, you're trying to identify what they need. Okay? What do they want to buy and why do they want to buy it? And that's where you create a marketing campaign for that you then target them with an email list or an advert. And at that stage, Lily's saying here, once they click through on that ad, they're already pre-sold on that notion of they need that thing. And it's a landing page job to push that final bit. It's very different from the SEO, where people are just typing from stuff and then they're having to go and find.
that's the perspective I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's coming the other way. It's targeting ad marketing campaigns that are already pushing out a particular solution for a particular problem. So
are you saying that the landing page doesn't apply to the SEO?
It doesn't negate it. Unless this gentleman was saying it's good to have it on your website. And sometimes when people are typing keywords, yes, your landing page will come up and hopefully it'll do its job. But the main job of a landing page is not from Google searches, it's from targeted marketing campaigns. And you have to have one goal for the marketing campaign. And that's why you need to find out what people need, and your landing page sells them and pushes that goal, and the marketing campaign directs the traffic for that one goal to your landing page. So it's a top-down rather than a bottom-up. Does that make sense?
Just to add to that, I saw one site that was like, get a quote, and said put your email address first. That way you can make sure the leads, and you give them the quote after they put their email.
We're not going to get to demos today, but we will do a page builder one later on.
I'm waiting here. After people go.
Can you do a tap dance before you go?
I can do a little tap dance, but I've not got my shoes.
Instead of the demo?
I'll do a creative dance of page builders, but we'll try and do a page builder meetup separately and show you how to do those things. Yeah? Question?
Just to tie this back to what you have up there.
Sorry.
The landing page by customizing the CSS.
Yeah.
How do you then divert, once that page has fulfilled its purpose, how do you then divert to the next thing?
So once that landing page is finished, you don't need it anymore. Okay, there's lots of plugins you can get with WordPress. So there's one called WP Redirect. Yeah, there's like Redirect Pro as well. I think there's an add-on for Yoast SEO that does permalinks. What you're looking for is a 301 redirect. And that means that this page is no longer exist anymore and you have to go to that page. And Google will figure all that stuff out and your links over time will then move to the new page. Yeah, so redirect, 301 redirect.
There's a few free plugins that I use to do that sort of thing. You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
WordPress might do it. You can change like the URL structure. You can redirect. WordPress does some stuff in the middle piece, but put in like that code.
Yeah, you want to do it properly, link for link. Okay, let's just wrap this up. So we looked at what conversions are. Is everyone okay with what conversions are? We've talked about marketing campaigns to drive the traffic to that landing page. And that's the top-down rather than the bottom-up traffic search. We've had a look at when to use a landing page. So use a landing page when we just want one goal, one thing to do. We've had a look at some of the landing page essentials, what to put on a landing page and what not to put on a landing page. We've had a little look at A/B testing. We might cover that in a separate topic if there's interest in that, because it is a whole world of its own. And yeah, so we've covered how to build one in WordPress from a theme and tweaking the CSS. But really, if you want to build stuff, then Page Builder is probably the best thing to go. Otherwise, your only real alternative is to go down the templates or get a developer to create a proper landing page template for you. Okay. Images I stole, that's me. So I've been developing WordPress since 2001. I am a developer, but I'm moving into video marketing, actually. That's my new thing, which is why the landing pages has been an interest for me. Come along to WordCamp as well. It's a whole 2-day nerd fest like this, but you get to sit in nice seats and get nice lunches and have a party afterwards, not just pizza. WordCamp is run by us organisers, and so Kristen Simons, she's the lead organiser this year. I'm her deputy, so I'm number 2. We've got James as well, who's behind you. He's one of the organisers as well. Peter Schilling, his son Zach, and another guy called Chris. So there's a handful of us that are doing it. We'll do it for free just because we love the pain and agony of doing it.
Well, how often do those workshops come up? Because I actually can't make the end of July, but how often do they come up?
These things are every couple of years in Sydney.
Oh, great. So it's like a couple of years.
But there are other ones.
I'll set my alarm now, mate.
Yeah, they move around. So if it's not Sydney next year, then it'll be one in Brisbane or Melbourne or Gold Coast or wherever it was. So.
And now I'm meeting up and signing up. I'll get.
You'll get those.
All the time, so okay.
Has anyone got any other questions? Kind of general WordPressy stuff?
He's got one.
You got a question?
Yeah, show me the.
I would love to, but not tonight. We've run out of time.